My guest today is Jermaine Pennant. He has had a 25-year career as a professional footballer, a product of the Notts County and Arsenal FC youth, and becoming a Liverpool FC legend. His talent is undeniable, yet this was often overshadowed by his behaviour off-pitch. From scandalous headlines to stupid mistakes, Jermaine wants to open up and talk in depth about his childhood, which left him unguided and unable to understand who he was. Now 39 years old, he has started to unpick the destructive cycles and really find himself. He has a brand new podcast show, Brutally Honest, which is not only a chance to help other people listen and take note from his mistakes, but also for Jermaine to talk it out with guests on the podcast to really get in depth on the subject to create more lightbulb moments for himself. So welcome to the show, Jermaine. How lovely to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Well, we kind of met because I have been a guest on your show, so it's
Yes.
nice to collaborate with a fellow podcaster. So because the show is called Unbroken, the first question that I always ask all of my guests is, what does the word unbroken mean to you?
Unbroken to me means using something that could break us to create us instead,
I
whether
like that.
that is trauma or heartache or sort of failure. You know, what some people could find, breakable, where then you could lead on to a wrong spiral rather than taking the bad and turn it into something good. Like yourself, went through a traumatic experience, but turned it into something amazing. So what could break us, what could unbreak it to make us, to create us?
Absolutely. So I have read your book and I've got more details about your childhood. So your childhood really could have broken you because it was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was tough, and it could have broken me, but it didn't. But it did lead to a lot of my mistakes in my adult life, of course. Yes, but without my survival instincts, like I said, I think I would have been broken.
Mm.
So I had to wait and wait, and I got frustrated because all I wanted to do was play, because I knew I could play for the first team. But when I was getting frustrated, that led me, obviously moving from Nottingham, moving to London, the distractions were a lot greater. And then me getting frustrated would lead on to certain mistakes and witness certain things where if I had a good background, that could have kept me on a straight and narrow.
And I'm wondering if that young Jermaine would have actually listened to what you're saying right now, because there were times when you were told not to go out, not to have a drink, and you did go out and drink. In fact, one day you were hungover and you played the next day and you got a hat trick. So it didn't stop your performance, but you were quite stubborn. You did what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I was. And again, that's all through my life, really, because there was zero guidance and professionalism in my life. There was no structure. It was all chaos.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand why I was that way until it's only recently, the last couple of years, I've understand my behaviors, and now the opportunities I get now, I wouldn't dare go down that route. But again, because I was brought into chaos, risks, me going out when I shouldn't have, was the normal for me.
Yeah.
Me sitting at home going, yeah, okay, it wasn't, well, that's not me. I'm a hectic, my life's hectic. That's what I'm used to.
And what does the understanding you've got now, how does that make a difference to you?
Well, I've looked back at my mistakes and why I made them. I've looked at my upbringing and the trauma that I went through, and the direction that would push me. I've spoken out now to therapists, to specialists, to the expert in the field of that. And I've understood myself that yes, there is hurt there from never having a mother around, never being loved, always feeling neglected, not worthy. And a lot of my mistakes were validation. I was putting a big screen up, not showing my vulnerability side, and going out and being reckless and being a kid and being the it boy and being the party boy, because then I would get accepted. So I've now let a lot of stuff off my chest, off my shoulders, and now I can just be me.
Yeah.
That's where now I'm on the better path than rather than the destruction one.
Yeah, well, you see, I am a former psychotherapist. I don't like to call it a better pass or a worse pass. It just sounds like when we make mistakes, we're human. This
Yeah.
is how we learn and this is how we expand, really, isn't it? So, yeah, it's great that you have kind of dived into yourself and done this soul searching to understand why you behaved in certain ways. It's not an easy job to do that, really, is it? It's painful.
Yes, it's painful. It's very painful. It's very hard. And as I looked at it, I thought, well, I'm getting to an age now. If I do not change my ways or understand myself better, my life will just be the same. I'll just keep on going on that, hamster wheel, just going round and round, getting in a good place, then ruin it, getting a good job, then ruin it, getting in the headlines for the wrong reason, then ruin you. So I thought, no, enough's enough.
So you wrote your book Mental. I actually discovered it was both published by the same publisher, which I didn't realize before.
Okay.
How was it to write it down? Because you don't hold back. You are pretty honest. You talk about partying with you and Ashley Cole and all the pursuits that you got up to. You don't really hold back. How was it to put it down on pen and paper?
I mean, it was just telling, my story really. What I did it, like I said, I didn't hold back. It was what I got up to, how it came about, and the lessons that I learned along the way. It was actually it was nice and therapeutic to get stuff out, and for people to see the side of a footballer, and maybe not be so judgmental. So again, it was nice to get it out, get the story out, truth, some good, some not so good, but it was like I said, I am an honest person, honest guy.
It seems now that that's important to you, that people don't judge you and they do have understanding for how you behaved.
Yeah, because I don't care, but I'm not the amount of people that I would meet and they go, "Oh, you're nothing," I would think. Everyone, obviously even my mistakes. When you do one thing bad, it's all over the press, being in the eye of a footballer, and then people just judge you on that. So it's crazy how many people go, "Oh, you're nothing what I thought you were," and once they actually meet you and get talking to you. So I have no worries about how people do judge, but yes, I'd like them to have a different perspective and vision of view. But once I do speak to them, that will not change.
One of the parts of the book that jumped out at me, which was near to the end, you said, once people get to know me, I'd like to think that they can see I'm mischievous, I like a laugh and good fun, and maybe they will come to know that my heart has always been in the right place.
Yeah, it is.
I thought that was lovely.
It's true, yeah. People do say you have got a good heart, but you can go off the rails. But that's when my life's in a mess, and then of course anyone can go off the rails. But my intentions and my heart is actually good.
So have you learned now, after seeing a psychologist, a therapist, better coping skills if you do feel frustrated or depressed?
Yeah, it's probably one of the easiest tools, and everybody's got it. Is speak, is talk. I will talk to my partner if I feel she's maybe talking to me in a certain way or making me feel not nice. I will say, listen, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. I feel like you talk down to me and you throw my past into my face. If you carry on, we'll get resentment and we don't want to go down that route. And then she said, "Oh, do you know what? I understand and I apologize. I just need to move on." And then, just little things like that. So that helps the relationship. But anything with work, I will speak to my agent and say, and he will give me hope. And so it's all about speaking. That's the
And is your agent still Sky Andrew that you had in the book?
Yes, Sky Andrew, yeah.
What an amazing person.
What an amazing guy.
By you regardless, and was like, it was just, as you say, he became a bit of a father figure, really, didn't he?
Yeah, like now, He is my manager, but he's more family now. We're
You
family.
could just kind of feel it, even though you didn't write it, him rolling his eyebrows. Oh, here we go again.
Yes, yeah.
What's he done now? But always,
Exactly.
always there, you know, not really judging you, just obviously gave you a bit of a hard time at times, but he was always alongside you, wasn't he?
Always alongside me. And the best thing about him was he always told the truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah.
And that's why I would fall out with him, because he was telling me the truth and it got to me. But then I would come round and I'd, you know, we'll get closer, and then okay, yeah, I need to do that. And to this day, it was still to tell the truth. He will not sugarcoat anything and just gaslight and make me feel bad to do the same mistakes. He tells me the truth. No, this, that. So it's brilliant. And again, I've not had another agent, and he's more than an agent. He's like family now.